This is Dexter Cousins, host of Fintech Chatter and founder of Tier 1 People, where we specialize in delivering mission-critical executive hires for high-growth fintech ventures. 2025 promises to be an exciting year for Aussie fintech, and we'll be ramping up production of Fintech Chatter to one show per week. And at Tier 1 People, we're already seeing very positive signs for next year, especially in the investment management space, as the worlds of TradFi and digital assets finally merge. I've currently got some amazing opportunities for growth-focused CEOs and founders with some of the most exciting fintech on the planet. Reach out to me on LinkedIn if you want to find out more. But before you do that, here's a snippet from our latest Fintech Chatter episode with Joe Yarbrough from Moment. Joel has built fintech products on 3 continents, including with PayPal and Grab. So this is an episode not to be missed. Make sure you follow us wherever you listen to podcasts, and please leave us a review. It really helps me get great guests like Joel onto the show.
Australia has obviously such incredible assets, right? But I think one of the perils with being an asset-rich society is you kind of lean on that, right? So you have, I think, a segment of society that's very real estate oriented, that's very extractive industry oriented. And then for cultural and historical reasons, I think all of us who aren't Australian have thought that most Australians pretend that it's in Europe versus in Asia at the end of the day, right? And so you have this incredible asset of being physically part of Asia, having language alignment, having geographic alignment, having natural resources export alignment, having an incredible tourist economy alignment. There's all these great assets that say, hey, look, this is one of the anchors of Asia, but at the same time, Australia doesn't seem to be turning its attention primarily to how you amplify that. And in any region, regional trade clusters, right, are much more powerful and much more valuable, right, than cross oceanic clusters, right? Like the economic activity between America, Canada, and Mexico is off the charts, right? Despite all the horrible things we may or may not say about each other, that region is way more vibrant than America's trade with anywhere else. And that's an important thing to recognize. And I don't see that, right, between Australia and Indonesia, Australia and Japan, Australia, China to the same scale that you would expect. And I would imagine that's a net loss. I think the other thing that is, funny, and one of the probably 4 things I say most often about Australia is that almost every sector of the Australian economy is an oligopoly, right? Yeah. And you have these kind of invisible oligopolies that are, inherently resistant to change, that don't make it easy for people to break in, and they are, I assume, somewhat protected oligopolies by whatever mechanism. Whereas, in a society where you're willing to let people fail and you're willing to let industries fail, but then pick people up from the ashes, you get a different type of vibrancy. Yeah. And I think these entrenched oligopolies have an awful lot of structural advantages, right? And then they extract rent from the rest of the society to some degree. But at the same time, and I'm a follower of the Juice Media videos. My impression is that the Australian government is led by people that are pretty happy with the powers that be versus unhappy with the powers that be.